You're listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, good morning, everybody. Hey, Josh, I'm not seeing myself in the cameras here. And that's, I got it. Oh, there it is. I mean, people have to see this. I mean, that's what they tune in.
To see your face.
Yeah, well, my shirt, actually, but whatever, that's good too. Anyway, we have Lisa Boultinghouse here with the Center for ASD. We're going to talk about what's going on with their space issues, so to speak, also their light up the night, anything else that's going on. We have Jasmine here to dominate the conversation, no doubt. Yeah.
Like she always does.
Yeah. And she's texting her husband, I believe. See, I still can't believe it. You look like you're in high school still. I saw, you told me last time that you were married with a kid, and I'm like, seriously? Okay. Yeah. Well, believe me, when you're...
She's a baby.
Yeah, but I know when she's our age and she's still looking young, she'll find that to be a benefit. But I bet you still get carded, right?
I do, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Not that you do things that need to be carded. Okay. No. But Lisa's going to tell us all about what's going on. You have a big event coming up in about 3 weeks?
Yeah,
what is it?
Holy cow, 3 weeks, yes.
Was it April 4th or something like that?
The 5th.
The 5th, right. We're going to talk about that in more detail later, about Light Up the Night. This is like your third or fourth one that I can remember. And
it's our fourth one.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's lots going on this time of year. A lot of the groups like y'all's have certain events. I got one last night about 9 o'clock. A group asked if I would promote some event they're having in about 2 weeks, and so they'll be in the ad run.
Oh, who's that?
It's a Montessori school.
Okay.
All right, and they're having a craft sale, and I'll get to them. Also, we're having a revival over around the same time y'all's is going on in Joshua. So, maybe one could lead the other. They'll get the spirit and go over there and be in that generous mood. Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be good. You'll take it, huh?
Yeah. The spirit and the generosity.
Yeah. And we have Josh here with his groovy shirt on. Too bad he didn't have a camera on him. He looks like a test pattern, but whatever. Yeah, but that's good. All right, let's go ahead and run to the ads so we can get to the good stuff. Well, not that this isn't good, but whatever. Yeah. Anyway, our place is always a great place. Good service, great food. I'll be able to go for the first time in a long time to my little breakfast club. It's spring break at DBU, and every other Thursday, the men of my Sunday school class go to our place for breakfast, and we try to solve everybody's problems, and we don't get very far. We end up talking about football, but whatever.
But that's where you go to solve problems. It's our place.
Exactly right. Yeah. It's where there's like 3 places in town I do business. Our place, and then the next place also, Gina's. I like to go there for meetings and such, and I have a beer and a pizza, and it's really good. And a lot of the same staff moved over from our place to Gina's. And of course, you probably, as you saw driving over here, you saw that Otto's opening up a third place. Too. Yeah. So I asked him about a month ago, when is that going to be open? And he's like, they're trying for about a month from now. But, if you've ever put together a construction project, you know how that works, right?
Especially right now. I tell you, we went to Gina's the other night, and their personal pizza with the salad is $10.
It's cheap?
It's good food and good prices.
It's good atmosphere and all. And also, the third place I like to do business in is Daydream Coffee. It used to be Dwell, now it's Daydream. A friend of mine owns it, or a former student, Pook. Yeah, Pook.
I love her.
Pook and her whole family were the kids anyway, were students, and Pook is a sweet young lady.
She's amazing. Yeah. I give her all props.
There you go. And so it's a nice place to do business as well. Anyway, on to the next sponsors.
Oh, we saw each other at Daydream a few
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were having some little B&I after party kind of thing after our meeting to go visit about stuff. On to the next one there, buddy. Also, thank you to our friend John at Old Pro Roofing, 817-734-2756. I bet he is busy. Did you get held on?
Yes, we did.
We got held on about 2 minutes, and it wasn't really big.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have him go check the roof out when he gets time, because I texted him Saturday, and I said, I bet you're pretty busy. Oh, you bet I am. So he's been hustling. And if you're going to need somebody to inspect your roof and tell you, yeah, you're fine, or you need some work done or whatever, you want Old Pro doing it, because they're not going to give you some song and dance and try to get your money. They're going to tell you, no, your roof's fine. Yeah. Or you need some small repairs, or you need a new roof.
I'm sure they were busy from that wind that we had for the few days, and then the hail, and there's another windstorm coming through this weekend.
Well, he'll tell you that some of the newer houses, particularly the ones that are built in large quantities at the same time, they put on the cheapest roof that is allowed, and so they quite often, even a stiff breeze will damage the roof. So call him at 817-734-2756. Also, a good thing about John is help you with the insurance, which sometimes can be kind of difficult. He'll tell you that some insurance companies are not as cooperative as others. Now, he does say the one I have, Texas Farm Bureau, is very cooperative, so, and I can concur. So that's a good thing. 817-734-2756. Also, Jeff Kelly, 817-781-0546, or Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. He'll tell you that things are still moving in this area, particularly Godley and Joshua. He sells all over Johnson County and southern Tarrant County, and he'll sell all over Texas for that matter. But as far as that's his area, and he'll tell you that Godley in particular just like gone off the charts in terms of its growth. Which
have you been down there lately?
And, the last time I was there was really about 18 months ago. I went to Del Norte, and he told me, it's still much different now.
It is. I was down there a couple of weeks ago, and the amount of businesses and restaurants that are popping up is crazy.
Yeah, maybe I didn't need to go there, but and Josh was also growing. We're growing at a good pace, and I have Victoria and Derek Weathers from Cleburne on in about 2 weeks, the same week. And we're all experiencing the same issues about infrastructure and streets. And, well, anyway, since Jeff's paying for this, we should talk about him. He's part of the Weddington Agency. And if you're looking to move in this area, call him. He'll help you. He'll evaluate your home. He'll sell it, whatnot. Also, thank you to our friend Michelle at Hot Works. It's going to be bathing suit season soon, And if you're still in that mindset, fortunately, I gave that one up a long time ago. You get yourself an infrared workout. There's 11 different kinds of workouts over there. It's 24/7 with the security code. So give Michelle a holler. And she has staff there to help you. And, if you just say, well, I don't know really what I want to do. You have 11 workouts. I don't know which one is for me. They'll tell you because they'll ask you what you are trying to achieve. And this is the best way to achieve it. So Michelle really knows what she's talking about. So go give her a look over there at Hot Works. Also, Local Life that just came out last week. It's on the cover is fencing company, Standard Fencing. It's about home services is this month's issue. And they went to 30,000 homes. Plus, every time I go to like a restaurant or to a repair shop or whatever else, they have multiple copies so you can peruse it while you wait, and so it gets a lot of looks. And also this Saturday she has that St. Patty's Day pub crawl. So if you want to be involved in that, which is always a fun time, check out Local Live's webpage, and there's the QR code and the whole thing, and there's different levels of tickets you can buy and whatnot. She likes to put on these little parties, it's kind of fun. She did it for in October. And I don't know if she's going to do one in July for 4th of July. I guess we'll find out then. So, but there's a lot of work behind this, too. Yeah. Also, Burleson Buzz, I use them all the time. Use them for information for the radio station. Cody does a really good job about putting out what's going on with the city council or other related news and things of that nature. And so we kind of swap. I advertise for him and I steal his material. It works out pretty well.
That's good.
Yeah. $50 a year for a subscription, which I think is pretty cheap. He and I are both trying to keep us in this community in the know, and it's not quite as easy as it sounds.
It is not.
Well, it just there's a lot of difficulty is the word I'm looking for. A lot of difficulty in trying to keep everybody informed because we don't have a central news source. But anyway. Also got a new sponsor. This one is going to be pertinent for a lot of people, particularly myself in a couple of years, Medicare Counseling and Therapy with Jerry Kavanaugh. What Jerry and his crew do is they help you not just navigate the Medicare system, but it's for counseling for people receiving Medicare. And I mean all kinds of counseling from, therapy, as the name therapy implies, it's, full-on counseling, not just, here's how you fill out the form. And that's a pretty good deal because a lot of people, particularly as we get older and get on to Medicare, we're losing loved ones, whatever. And a lot of us my age, in my generation don't know how to deal with some of that or access some of that.
Yeah.
And so he provides that for his clients. And they're here in town. They're on the third floor of that. I don't know what the building name is, but it's where the Rim and Mambo is.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go up there and they'll help you. And the good thing about all of this, it's if you're on Medicare, the therapy and counseling is paid for.
That's nice.
Yes, this was something fairly new in the Medicare plan.
I really like that.
Yeah, because it's very necessary because
It's a gap.
well, I look at like some of the older folks I know in my life, relatives and older friends, and they're dealing with things they never had to deal with before, like their loved one is in maybe an onset of Alzheimer's or something like that, and they're having to deal with things that they never had to deal with before, and they don't know really how to turn to people.
Right.
Because in my generation, you just sucked it up and did it.
Yeah.
And not that it was always better that way, but it's what we did. And so they'll provide counseling for all sorts of things. They're open on Monday through Thursday from 11 to 8, and on Saturday from 11 to 8. They're closed on Fridays. And then they're 817-992-8034. And that give Jerry a call and set up a time. And let's say you don't need the therapy as such or the counseling, but you don't know already how to navigate Medicare, which is a beating. Mm-hmm. He'll help you with that too.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jerry. Also, we got a couple of nonprofit events going on. If you throw those on there, Josh, there's one. Revive. It's an old student of mine, Caleb Tomlinson, is leading a revival over at the Uprising Church over in Joshua. It's on April 4th at 8 a.m. That's $25 for the
April
ticket.
5th.
I'm sorry. The glare, it is April 5th right there. I'm sorry. Well, you come early. Get a good head start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a good seat.
Yeah. It's a men's conference at April 5th at the Uprising Church. And they're going to have speakers and have lunch and all this other business. And it's meant to deal with men and spiritual matters because, men, like so many others, don't really deal with that as they should,
Don't process emotions.
Yeah, I've had to learn a lot, about that myself, and so I understand what they're saying. And then so these men's conferences are helping men deal with these kind of issues.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like your husband there says good morning.
Hi, babe.
Yeah, isn't he nice? Yeah. So check it out. The Revive. It's on April 5th. Also, I believe that's the same weekend yours is in.
It's the same day.
Same day. So, they can go get revived and then come over to your joint.
They sure can. Yeah.
Also, I got this late last night. I met these people at the Burleson Showcase, or the Chamber of Commerce Showcase. This Montessori school is going to have a vendor market at the First Christian Church on March 29th from 11 to 4. And they're trying to support this nonprofit school that's going to be opening up in August. Now, I am a former teacher, and I'm fairly familiar with Montessori philosophy in that type of school. And it's not just your standard kindergarten. Right. It's more engaging, shall we say?
Definitely hands-on.
Yeah. So anyway, so check this out, March 29th, 11 through 4. And I'm going to meet with one of their leaders sometime this week and get more information about it. Like I said, I got this around 9 o'clock last night, so... this is as much as I know about it right now, but just put that on the calendar. We got lots going on. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about what y'all got going on. Y'all got lots going on, too.
Yeah.
The first thing a lot of people, I'm sure, ask you about is, how's your space situation?
It's happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, you tell us as much as you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, so...
I'm sure a lot of things are still in negotiation or whatever.
They are, and it's... interesting. So there has actually, Jeff Kelly's with the Withington team, and the Withington team actually is the team that listed Crestmont for sale. So thank you, Withington team, for working alongside Crestmont. And there has been another church who has come to put an offer on.
That church?
Yep. There's a church that has put an offer to purchase Crestmont.
Can you tell us who, or is that just still in the negotiation stage?
It is. Okay. So, but
you got to be careful, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to be careful, but I also just kind of want to speak from the heart. It's definitely God is moving, know, and the potential new owners want to have discussions about us staying, which would allow us a nice amount of time to raise money and build what we need, buy what we need. And, this economy is just so hard right now. So everything's kind of still pending. I mean, it was an offer that we couldn't beat. And so we're just, I'm honestly a spectator right now, Brad. I'm a spectator to life and everything that's happening. And it's interesting how it's all playing out, but I'm just kind of watching. I don't know what else to say. Besides, I'm trying to keep everybody as informed as possible. But again, I'm sitting on the sidelines right now watching.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of questions and whatnot. I had Brittany Gokas on last week.
Yeah, she's one of our board members.
Right, and I asked her after the show. We were talking about their fundraiser they had yesterday, and there's a Caleb Tomlinson with the revival, if you will.
Ooh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And she was talking about, she didn't have much more information than you did. She said they're still in the hopeful stage.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to really go down that path of what happens if the worst happens, because I don't want to think like that. You know, because I want to believe that somehow, some way, you're going to stay in this community.
Yeah. And I believe that too. I don't know what capacity it looks like, but we're going to be okay. We just don't know what it looks like.
How many people have come to you and said, this place or that place is now open? Why don't you look into that?
Ooh, a lot.
Yeah.
Like so many like to count. But everybody, the community has really stepped up, and, so many people are praying for us, and so many people are, trying to raise money. So many people are doing small things in the community to help, raise funds that we need to match. And, but it is, there's not a whole lot we can do when another, buyer comes into the mix and wants to offer more money than what we can offer. And, so it's just, we are just staying in the mindset that we're going to be okay. And it's interesting because I have this crazy piece about me that we're going to be okay, though I don't know what it looks like we're going to be okay. And the staff, nobody has balked at the fact that all this is happening. We're just going about our business. And that's interesting to me, that the staff are just like, okay, we're going to be fine. And I'm like, okay.
Is that right, Jasmine? Are you fine?
Yep.
Then why are you so confident? Just do you feel like this is just going to work out?
Yeah, I feel like God always provides no matter what. Even if it feels like we're drowning, we never are, because something always comes up and something always happens.
Well, I bet some people said, hey, that Big Lot space will be open, or the old City Market space is open. And that's, I don't know what y'all would need, but I could see some difficulties in some of those kind of places.
Well, yeah. And we can definitely take on one of those spaces and restructure the inside of it to support our needs. But also, we want to be careful if we are to rent a space. We want to be careful about getting in over our heads with the rent, because we know renting space is crazy. The cost is crazy. So it did make more sense to us to buy, especially if we were going to buy Crestmont, if we were going to buy another building, because it would ultimately be cheaper. And then we have an investment that we can turn around and sell, years down the road, as opposed to just paying $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 a month. And,
that's a lot of money.
And we use that much space. So it would definitely be upwards of $12,000. And then that would put the center in we need to focus on just sustaining, on just keeping our doors open at that time, where right now we're able to plan. We're able to look forward, and we wouldn't be able to look forward if we were to rent at anything over that amount.
As far as the type of facility, I'm sure you can, take one of these spaces and, tailor it to your needs and whatever else. But would it be better to be like where you are at Crestmont, which is more or less a residential area, probably a little less active? Yeah, that's the word. If you would put it like, let's say, for example, where City Market was, and there's a lot of activity, would that distract your type of clients? Make it harder for them?
I think it would. It definitely would. We enjoy being where we're at. We enjoy having calm around us. I know that definitely it would make, I mean, we function like a school. So we have drop off and pickup. So it would definitely make it a difficult situation for parents picking up and dropping off and things like that. So being in a standalone property is most beneficial for us. And we are still, keeping our eyes and ears open. And we mentioned, there's lots of people that are reaching out to us. But I just, I'm kind of, hopefully we'll know something in the next week or so about what's happening with the potential purchase.
And as far as like other churches, I was thinking about like my own church when we had the conversation last time.
Yeah.
It'd be very difficult because, a lot of the churches like mine have activities all throughout the day. All right. And I don't know what Crestmont does during the day, but like in our church at First Baptist, we have daycare and also it's a meetings place for a lot of civic events as well.
Yeah.
The chamber is doing something there with them pretty soon and things like that. And so, it's hard to find a place that's isolated enough, but not out in the woods somewhere. But but is a kind of separate from all the activities of the community.
Yeah, we definitely need designated space. So we want to share, but also, I mean, we're getting ready to purchase 2 lift recliners, for our adults program because some of our adults need help getting in and out of getting up and down now.
Yeah, me too.
So we're getting ready to purchase a few of those. And, our space that we use is suited to the needs that we serve. And, it is very designated space. And that's what I actually reached out to several churches when we started all this a few months ago. And that was kind of it's a big deal. And I know that for a church to say, hey, we will let you use all this space and just for you, it's difficult, especially when you have an active church. So the thing about Crestmont is Crestmont only runs on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings.
Well,
we have use of all of our space and it's just us.
Well, I know my church at First, they got stuff going on all the time, women's studies or maybe senior citizen stuff going on, or like I said, the daycare situation. I mean, my kids were in it back in the day. I mean, it's a pretty busy building, even on just a typical Tuesday morning. So it's a tough call. And they're building spaces, I know, but you mentioned earlier about the rent issues.
Yeah,
and I could see why you'd want to buy instead of rent because rent just keeps going up. It ain't going to come down.
right.
So, Jasmine, what do you do for this center?
I am the executive assistant, so I help Lisa with all her needs.
You're her mini-me? Okay, good.
And then I also do fundraising.
You don't have to go get her laundry or dry cleaning, do you?
No.
Get her
I
coffee
wish.
at Starbucks.
I wish. She did pick up my coffee this morning.
Isn't she nice? How did, you talked about this before. You've been, this is about your, 3rd or 4th time to be on the show, I believe. And this is something you wanted to do in high school, right? You want to be involved in this type of activity. How did you connect with the ASD group?
Actually, my mother, she helped with Light Up the Night. She kind of overseen, helped chair that event. So,
What's your mother's name?
Elizabeth Davidson. She works for the city of Burleson.
The name kind of rings a bell because maybe I've seen it on Facebook, but I'm not personally acquainted.
Yeah, she does their events and kind of helps host those and gets people out there and do all the things. So,
well, that's neat.
Yeah.
And so you just had that kind of upbringing to get involved in stuff, and you decided you wanted to work with people with these type of needs, and I bet you find it most days rewarding. Some days maybe a little tougher than others, like every other job is, but you must find it pretty rewarding to do this kind of work.
Yeah, getting to see the participants and getting to see that they've met their goals or the teacher's excited about something that the participants meet their goals, it's nice to see that.
Well, I'm not by any means an expert. I mean, I did deal with autistic students at school, but not, for the most part, not the level which y'all deal with them. I mean, most of my autistic students were functional enough to be in the classroom, but they had other autistic-related situations I had to be aware of. And I saw that. I saw them, achieve goals and things of that nature. But each student y'all have different goals, right? And that's do y'all, when you get a new client, do you sit down with the caregivers, parents, grandparents, whoever it is, and work out some sort of plan like we have? Like we had an IEP, they called
Right.
it, individual education plan. Do y'all have something similar to that?
We don't have IEPs, but we do discuss goals, and we do talk about what is something that you want to work on. And of course, our staff know, by watching the kids and their needs and their interactions, like, oh, Gabe needs to work on tasting different food, and so they challenge him every time they go out. He has to buy a little bit of something, and that's a win. They went to Buffalo Wild Wing a couple weeks ago, and he got the plain wings. But to someone who's on the spectrum, that's a very big deal.
Buffalo Wild Wings is a pretty active place. I mean, all those TVs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is that a problem for many autistic people? Is the
It's
all
just
the
really individual based.
sensory, all that going on, overload?
It's very dependent. Some of them may go in and thrive on it. Like, honestly, when I think of Gabe, I think that he probably really enjoyed it. He's very sensory seeking. And you have other individuals that it may overstimulate them. But, again, having our low ratios and knowing the needs and trying to challenge our kids, we know, do we need to step outside with so-and-so and give them a break from this? Is this atmosphere too much for them? And so that is, we do go over goals. We do check in once a year with the parent survey and, hey, what do you want to work on next with your kid? Or what do you see? What are they struggling with? And some of them, especially with our adults, it's, I would like to see them focus on hygiene. I would like to see my 32-year-old focus on hygiene. And then we redo hygiene with them, even though we may have worked on it with them a couple of years prior.
That's kind of what next question was going to be at, because how well do your clients retain what they've been taught?
It's repetitive. Yeah, we have to be repetitive with things. So,
oh, well, it's like me and probably calculus. I'd have to work on it every day just to remember it. But stuff like that, or algebra too, even. Right. But
we have to. So we just entered into a contract with somebody that is helping us they're helping us because we do have to go over multiplication every year, and we do have for the Excel program, and we do have, just the basic facts, and we do have to do certain things. And it's like, how can we take this same information and teach it differently in 6 months or in 12 months? Because we don't want our participants to get bored. We don't want to give them the same information all the time. So knowing that this is, someone's life, someone's forever, they've been with us for 7 years, how do we make sure that our programs and that the information that we give them and how we deliver it doesn't get stale?
It's as far as like, being repetitive and whatever else, you kind of mentioned that you don't want it to be the students become bored. At least my experience was with the autistic students is that if they were more highly functioning, and I had forgotten that I already had taught them this or gone over with them with this, they'd be kind of indignant about it because they were, they almost took offense.
They're like, we already know this.
Yes.
And it's what they would do. And it's, I'll talk about my kid all day long, but if we were to do a worksheet with him when he was in our Excel program and we did the same worksheet 3 years ago, he's going to be like, I did this 3 years ago. Why are we doing this again?
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we don't introduce information to them the same way that we did.
This kind of switching gears a little. I read in the paper that the number of diagnoses of autism is on the rise. Is it because of difference in how we diagnose and recognize this condition, or is it really, we're just having more and more autistic related situations?
I think it's both. So back when Gabe was 1.5 and we were waiting on testing, the wait to get him tested was 2 years, approximately 2 years. Now you can get tested in a couple months. So we're testing faster. But there's definitely individuals who are developing characteristics. It's definitely on the rise itself. Testing is helping us get the stats faster, but it is definitely on the rise.
What do you think is causing that?
It's a mix. I think it's a mixture of things. I do think that part of it can be genetic. I do think that a lot of things that are in the foods, the hormones, the everything, it can be part of it. Some people want to say that it's vaccine. Some people want to say that it's not. I think it's just kind of a perfect storm of
I
sorts.
kind of avoid the vaccine argument because
I do too.
there's a couple of people I know that are convinced
Yeah.
that it causes and has caused
Yeah.
in their families.
And there's some people that are very convinced that it's not.
Yeah, and so I just I'm not going to get into that mess
Right.
because I don't know enough, and it's
It's a slippery slope. Like, how are it, so we are not anti this, pro this at the center. We're not. It's, everything's very personal choice when it comes to our kids. But, it's just, I think with as far as what's causing the increase of autism, again, I think we're kind of doing it to ourselves.
Would it also be that we've redefined autism a little bit? Because when I first started teaching, I have kids now that I would recognize as being on the spectrum, but back then they were just seen as a
Quirky.
bit, a little odd.
Yeah.
They were functioning as students. They may have had odd personalities or whatever, or a bit eccentric. And I had kids that were like top flight AP level students that would be on the spectrum now, but they're still classified as autistic.
Yeah. I definitely think they have broadened it, and especially like they used to diagnose individuals with Asperger's, which they don't diagnose Asperger's anymore. That's a level of autism. So autism, I think, is level 1 through 7. So Asperger's is now in that category. ADHD and ADD are now kind of umbrellaed under being on the spectrum.
Yeah, I know they don't use the term Asperger's anymore, but
Right.
back in my day they did.
Yeah.
And then I'd have the counselors would tell teachers, we had the 504s and whatever else, to tell us that they had these symptoms, whatever else. And the counselors, if you went and asked, it'd say, well, he's an Asperger's child or whatever else. And like I said, I had kids that were not on the spectrum that are just as odd as the kids that were supposedly were. So,
Yeah. And it's kind of, so we do not, you don't have to have a diagnosis to attend the center. Your parents or yourself just need to feel like you need support from the center, because not every, we have adults that attend our center that don't have a diagnosis. They just understand that they need some extra help in different ways.
How many of these adults that you have bring themselves, so to speak, that
We have a handful.
okay, most of them I would imagine a caregiver of some sort handles all that for them, but do you have a couple that are...
We have a handful that drive themselves to us, whether it's for our daytime program or our evening programs.
Yeah, there's a young man that I remember also from school that it was an interesting case because autism is such a broad definition that you get some of these guys that have some genuine skills in certain things.
Yeah.
And this one guy I had was in economics, and he was a 504, Asperger's as we called it. Man, he just picked up that stuff. I mean, faster than I could teach it practically. But on other things, you had to kind of on like social skills. We had to kind of, keep him in certain boundaries. But man, he could pick it up. And I'm like, there's got to be a place in our society for this guy,
Right.
for this kind of talent,
Right.
and we could work on the social skills. I mean, he wasn't crude or inappropriate. He just, he didn't know when it was time to say something. He would just jump in and blurt out things. So, hey, relax.
You need those social cues, and you need to read the room.
And he wasn't.
They don't.
He wasn't like. He was a very pleasant young man, so there was nothing wrong with him. But he just didn't know when to enter into a conversation or stay out of one, and that kind of thing. As far as you, Jasmine, you're pretty busy. I bet these days you're running the Light Up the Night, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Josh, did you get the material? Oh, there it is. I see he's so smart. So tell us about this. What's going on?
So Light Up the Night, this is our 4th annual Light Up the Night. It is to bring awareness to the autism community with other disabilities. We have sponsorship opportunities, vendor opportunities where you can display your business, and then our glow vendors. So this is something new that we implemented last year. You can either decorate a space and light up our walkway that you're able to attend and walk throughout the night. You can do it with your family, or you can do it with your business to display it, but you are not allowed to sell anything in the glow vendor spot. It's just able to advertise what you would want to.
Okay, so when you talk about vendors, what are you talking about here in particular? What kind of like crafts and
Anybody.
Yeah.
We last year we had a realtor out there. We had people who did like stuffed animals, kind of like when you do a Build-A-Bear.
right?
We have people who do crochet, some that own small businesses, T-shirts, candles, anything you can think of. That is what a vendor is.
But are they allowed to sell?
Yes, our
Okay.
vendors are allowed to sell.
We have vendors and we have glow vendors.
Right.
So vendors are going to be in the parking lot selling, and glow vendors are going to set up along our walk.
And so that's more for like publicity than for the glow vendors. Okay, so if you want to be one of those, you could have like your little booth and have, a sign of your business. And can you hand out business cards or anything?
You can hand out business cards.
Okay.
That area will have to glow up at night, or so using neon colors, anything. Knockouts last year actually did it, and they did like a little barber shop and made it lights around and all the things. It was pretty cool.
They brought a cute little barber chair and some scissors, and it
Okay.
was good.
And so, but the other vendors it's probably similar to flea market type businesses, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have like a couple of like Raising Cane's was out there, and they gave out drinks and kind of did like raffle items for fun. And then we have like a realtor company that came out and did some fun things. So when you're a vendor, we just ask that you provide a couple of glow items to pass out to attendees and all the things.
What about Alley Cats? I know that y'all have a relationship with them. Are they going to be part of this?
We are waiting to hear back, actually.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Y'all know them better than I do, but
No, we've been in contact, but I know that they've had a lot of meetings lately, so it's kind of getting on board with everyone to see what they want to do.
yeah, I'll bet they'll come through. They always do.
Yes.
And they're very community oriented. I met I met the fellow.
Jeff.
Yeah. Carmen, I believe his last name. Right. I met him at the Burleson Chamber event last month, and we talked for quite a while. And not only would I like for him to be a sponsor of this show, but I also wanted, he also and I talked about if Alley Cats was promoting something like yours or other groups, let me know, and I can help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
And but it was a good meeting him.
Yeah.
And he gave me a whole bunch of gift cards or
Yeah.
whatever else, and I'm like, well, I'm 62 plus, and I still like to play video games. Is that bad? Okay. But anyway, but I don't do that very much, but I still enjoy it. But anyway, so now, how do they get in contact with you if they want to be a vendor or just attend?
They can email events@centerforasd.org or give us a call at 682-499-6655.
What is that again?
682-499-6655.
Okay.
And they're allowed to call us, and we can kind of get them situated and figured out. Either once that happens, we can invoice them, or they can go through our website for Light Up the Night and pay through there.
I see you have a QR code there, so that'll give you some information and whatnot. And, of course, your webpage and your Facebook page has all this information, whatever else. Didn't you also just have a fundraiser at the Torchies?
We did. We did. I don't know if we don't have the numbers back on that yet.
No,
That
we
was
don't.
last Tuesday.
It was last Tuesday, yes.
Yeah. So you're just always looking to get that name out there, huh?
We are. We're going to be at Fish City Grill on April.
It's the first Tuesday of April.
Yeah, the first Tuesday of April. Taylor Perky, Lisa and the team are amazing.
April 1st.
Taylor is one of my favorite people, even though I want to wring his neck sometimes.
Hey, join the club. The line starts here.
Yeah, I'm next.
Well, he's such a big shot. He's creating a second studio right next door to us.
He's so fancy. He needs to remember his roots.
Oh, okay.
So we have lots of events happening, and we have, it's exciting. We just brought on a new volunteer coordinator. So I really feel like we have big things happening between Light Up the Night happening. Waymaker just happened. Torchies just happened. Fish City Grill's getting ready to happen.
Waymaker breakfast, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't you just sit around much, do you? You keep pretty busy.
We do. We have a lot of funds that we need to raise.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the time to do it. I know that Next Step has their Walk for Life, and Lisa Schwartz has her City on the Hill in early May, and other groups are having similar related things between now and June.
Yeah.
It really is one of the conversation points we had in the Burleson Opportunity Fund meeting we had is like, how do we find something that's both unique and not conflicting with other groups?
Yeah.
And so I wonder if there's like a master calendar out there somewhere, so y'all don't,
We
put something on
share.
the same
We
day.
email. Like it's one of the things that Jasmine did.
I don't want to forget the Vineyard Vibes for Harvest House in late April.
So it's one of the things that we know to do. We did it, I think, in January or maybe December.
We did it back in October. Once we had all of our events already made, we did it right first thing to get it over with, so they knew what days we had picked.
So we email all the other organizations and be like, and we just tell everybody, hey, these are our days and these are our events, and they kind of go from there.
Well, it's interesting because I mean, we talk about this all the time about having a single space and a unified approach and all this other stuff, but it's hard, I guess, because everybody does such good work and a lot of people want to help, but there's only a limited amount of funding and attention span, I guess, if you will.
Right. And donor fatigue.
Yeah.
That's
where I'm getting at. I don't like to use that term when I talk to people to do what you do, but I talk to people.
We think about it all the time. We have conversations about it all the time. We want to make sure that we're not overutilizing. We have to remember that this is a two-way street, not a one-way street. It's not always about us take. We have to serve and we have to give back. So.
Well, I do know that, people like Otto, for example, gets a lot of call for support, and he does what he can.
Yeah.
I've talked to him about 2 months ago, and he's like, I'm going to do what I can as much as I can, but there are limitations sometimes, because, funding and whatnot and attention span again and whatever else. So that's why he was so glad to do that mass giving thing we did back in September. And I bet we'll do it again this coming September.
Yeah.
Which you basically are the creator of that idea. Do you remember?
I do.
Yeah, how you called me out here on the show.
I do. Yeah, I do. I have ideas for this year. We should get together.
Oh, you have more?
I do.
Well, go ahead, tell me right now so I can be prepared.
I don't know. I feel like it almost needs to be kind of a half-day thing or something, and have us all have a mic everybody up, and let us all sit here and have like a real big round table about our needs.
We did that a couple of years ago, if you recall. We did it after we taped the show. We had y'all.
Yes. I remember that. Did that ever get...
Well, we couldn't do that last year.
Yeah, because we went to Gina's.
Right.
Yeah.
But I bet next year we can plan for that.
I think so. I think that we could get a lot of community buy-in, being, as far as just the watches and the shares and everything, if we can really
we got a lot of watches that show.
Yeah, if we can.
Yeah.
But I just love everybody that I work with, too. I love everybody that I get to work alongside with in the community. And I want to champion for them every time that I can. And I know that they do the same for us.
They do. And when I do these shows, they have no problem in me sharing it with their Facebook pages. Yeah. Even if it's not directly involved with this, they want to kind of create this kind of, I don't know what's a good way of putting it, synergy, I guess.
I see a whole big telethon. Come on, Brad.
The technology for that.
Right here, a star was born. Right here, just
See,
now.
you did it to me again. Yeah. I could, there is a means of doing it now through the radio station.
Yeah.
Because if I get the software, which I've been told it can either be free if you do it at a certain level, or if you want to bump it up, it costs a little bit of money, but not a tremendous amount.
Oh, maybe if you can partner with 88.3 that day.
We are.
I'm just going to say that, yeah.
Well, we are partnering with
them. But that day, they have the telethon stuff because they host the telethon. Do you know how I know? Because I've given to their telethon.
I'll talk to Rich when he gets back from Africa.
Yeah.
He's in Malawi right now.
I know, I saw.
Yeah, and he's just going around town. Well, why don't you throw up the radio stuff there, Josh? First, so 88.3, like you mentioned, they mention they don't play my show, but they'll mention it and talk about it. He wants me to call in about once a month, and we'll talk about what's going on in general.
Yeah.
And also on a weekly basis, I send them emails, say, hey, this is going to be on the show. And their jocks will say, hey, tune into Mr. Allard's Neighborhood, and blah, blah, blah. So hopefully you get some additional coverage like that. And my wife loves the station.
I do too.
So, it's on her dial. And so when I'm driving in her car or riding in her car, that's what we're playing. And I said, well, hey, I got a radio station. And she goes, I don't care. And so anyway, but 88.3 is
I've been a fan of theirs for, I don't even know how long. I don't know how long it's been around, but I remember driving Nate to S.H. Crowley for intermediate school in like fifth grade. And the telethon, the giving day was on his birthday. And I called and made a donation. They shouted Nate out happy birthday on the.
I do know they have something coming up pretty soon for themselves, like within 6 weeks. So maybe sometime in the summer. Is your giving cyclical like that, seasonal?
Yes.
I mean, some seasons are,
Stronger than others. Yeah.
Yeah, which is the weakest one?
Summer. Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk to Rich about something in July.
Yeah.
Who knows? Also, on my little radio station, this show will be on tonight at 6 o'clock and tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And
you added some more music to your.
Yes, I did. I put some stuff from the 80s, and I like to add music at least once a week. It's a way of kind of keeping things, up to date, fresh. Yeah, you don't want to just, same old playlist. No, I'll take a few songs off and put a few songs on. Like last week, I had a lot of Bad Company. That's my era and stuff like that. But community radio TX is a good place to advertise from this kind of stuff. What I like about it, besides the music, because it's primarily music I like, is the fact that it is 24/7. Now, I don't know how many people are listening to it at 3 a.m., but I hope somebody is. Yeah. But as far as the radio station, it's like any new venture. It's going to take some time to build an audience or build a customer base, so to speak. But it's getting there.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's on Odyssey and TuneIn and Live 365. And this show also will be on Apple and Spotify around 10:30 tomorrow. So you're getting 7 different platforms to put your word out. Yeah, include Facebook and YouTube.
Wayne.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, back. Let's finish all off here. As far as the tune in, not tune in. What am I saying? Light up. The tune in the night. It's too early in the morning. I'm still missing that hour.
We also want to tune in the night.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, but that as far as the Light Up the Night, August 5th. That's at the Brick. Does this cost money to attend?
No, it is a free event, so everyone and anyone, please come out. We are hoping to beat our attendance. We think last year we had a little over 1,600 people, so we're hoping to get closer to.
That's a bunch. Yeah.
But it was nice to just go out in the community and see a lot of people dancing and having fun, joining in Zumba. We'll have Zumba there. DJ Tay will be playing quite a bit more often. We kind of lowered our acts just so we can have a DJ in because everybody loved him. So.
What about what time does it start?
It starts at 6:30. We know we have a couple people who start showing up about 6:15. So we just make sure that we're prepared and ready for everyone, and it ends at 9.
And at 9 o'clock, you're like, get out of here. It's
at 9 o'clock, we got to tear it all down. So everything that we spent months working and putting together and then we go out there Saturday and set it up all day, and then we enjoy it for 2.5 hours, and then we tear it down.
Not that I wish this will happen, of course. But if the weather isn't good, do you move it inside?
No.
So you just get wet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we if that happens, well, it hasn't happened, but last year it was super windy, so we had a lot of vendors not attend. We did the best with our decorations, but again, we had the most that we've ever had in attendance.
That's good. Well, I tell you, here's what you need to do. If the weather's looking iffy, call Lisa Schwartz. I remember 2 years ago, the Armageddon was coming on the day of City on the Hill, and she was on this show, prayed. It was like the Tuesday before. On this show, prayed for better weather. Yep. And here comes the storm Friday, and then the clouds parted. One went north, one went south.
I'm telling you, God doesn't. God knows good work, and He's going to support it, and He's going to clear the skies. Like last year, we had wind, but we have in all of these years that we have had outdoor events, we have had one golf tournament that was rained on. But even then, I mean, it stopped raining. Everybody got a late start. We got a late start about 9:30 instead of 8. If people wanted to wait, they could. And we had a lot of people stand around and wait. And it poured. But God has taken care of us every single time.
Are you doing a golf tournament this year?
We do.
Where's at Southern Oaks? Early June, right?
No, we moved
September.
it.
It's September 26th.
Yeah.
Okay, there's like 3 or 4 golf tournaments. The Burleson Opportunity Fund is reconsidering ours because for various reasons, but one of them is that a lot of people have golf tournaments. Yeah. And so we're, and also know you do like pickleball with it as well. Well, you really do hit all the marks, don't you?
You can't, you have to touch all the needs. And all the people that want things, you have some people that want to play pickleball, some people that don't like golf. So we just try to give options.
Well, I'm just
Leave no stones
I
unturned.
admire y'all's energy. I really do, because I'm sure some mornings you wake up and think, yeah, I'm back on the treadmill, because I've talked to several of y'all. They're in the fundraising aspect of your enterprises. And some days you got to self-motivate,
Yeah.
And it's, it's
Yeah.
because you feel like, why can't somebody just write me a $10 million check and I'll be done with it?
Yeah. that would be nice.
Well, yeah.
But until that happens,
Mm-hmm.
we just try to make sure that we give everybody the opportunity to support us in the way that they want to support us. People may not care to support us in any other way, but they will attend a restaurant and 10% of whatever they eat comes back to us. So we want to give them those opportunities.
Well, we're almost out of time, and I got a very important phone call coming in at 11. I'm going to be talking to Social Security. Yeah, you know how that
Bum,
is.
bum, bum, bum.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Anyway.
I'm still waiting for my appointment for Gabe.
Oh, it took 2 months and I'm sure you've been waiting for a while.
We've been waiting since August.
Yeah, good heavens.
And we're still, we have maybe about another 8 to 10 month wait.
Holy shnikes. That's incredible. Well, I'm sure Mr. Musk will get them back in efficiency just like that. Okay, that's another conversation. Anyway.
Zing.
Well,
Which way was that zing, though?
I don't know. Anyway, Jasmine, finish us out here with your light up the night and whatever else we got going on.
Well, we hope to see everyone there. We are still looking for sponsors, and we are still looking for vendors. We are at 20 vendors. We have a few sponsors, and then glow vendors. I'm hoping to see a lot more people join in to see the creativity on what they create to light up the night that night. So,
Who are our 2 biggest sponsors right now, Jasmine?
our 2 biggest sponsors is HEB. They are our Shine sponsor, and THR, Texas Health Resources. They are another one.
They are both very good at this kind of community outreach. I mean, HEB,
Key partners.
they've done a lot of stuff for a lot of groups. Same with Texas Health. I mean, they do. They're very, very good about doing these kind of things. So I'm glad to see they're part of our community.
Yeah,
HEB is actually one of our glow vendors, and to hear what they have together, I'm so excited to see what comes out of it. So.
Well, that's why I shop there.
Yeah.
I mean, among other reasons.
Have you ever been to our light up the night?
Last year, I know there was a conflict in the schedule, and the first time I really wasn't aware of it as much.
You need to try to get there this year so that way you have a better idea of what it is. People are like, I don't get it. And I'm like, show up.
All right.
Show up and you're going to be like, oh,
well,
wow.
it's just the paparazzi and the fans.
You might see Taylor recording that day.
And it's like,
They chase you down. They want your autograph.
I know. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Go talk to George Clooney. Anyway, well, I appreciate what y'all do. And I appreciate the work you put in, because I know it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And but it's rewarding as well. And we'll visit in June, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll update you as soon as I know something, so we can update all the listeners.
Well, but I'm thinking in June you're going to be telling us about all the greatness of your new space. I'm that confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to work out one way or the other, and you're going to be saying this is perfect for us.
It's just the way it was supposed to be.
Right. One door shut, the other one opened. There you go. Jasmine, calm down. She's
too much.
Is she quiet like this around the?
Really, yeah. No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
She's absolutely not.
All right. And Josh with the groovy shirt. We'll see you. Am I going to see you Thursday? That's my next show.
I believe so, yeah.
I have a new group. It's an equine therapy group for veterans and first responders. Frontline. Do you know them?
I do.
Okay.
I know everybody.
Somebody asked if it's the same as Wings of Hope. No, Wings of Hope is for a different clientele. This is for first responders.
Frontline is first responders
PTSD
and veterans.
to help deal with these issues and whatnot. So I'll be talking to them 11 o'clock on Thursday.
Do you know who's going to be here?
The name escapes me because I haven't met these people before. Okay. Do you know them? No.
I do. Well, I know Kai Gregory.
Well, I don't think he's coming, but I did know Colin when I told him about this. Colin told me his son was involved.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, we're going to have you on in June, and we're going to talk about the greatness of your space.
Thanks.
All right. Like I said, this will be on tomorrow on Apple and Spotify about 10:15, 10:30. It'll be on tonight on community radio, and again, 1 o'clock tomorrow. And so you're going to have all these different opportunities to hear on this great show.
And we will share.
Okay. Yeah, that's good too. I like that. I need the numbers. Whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all Thursday.
All right. Thanks.